Hey, and welcome to my journey. If you've been following me, you know that journey is on the road to gastric bypass. Well, guess what? I had it. October the 4th was when I had it. So I am 3 weeks post op. Yeah. I've already learned so much in that. Well, really, it started before I even had the surgery, but a lot of these things, they hit home after the surgery. And I thought, you know what? I have a number of subscribers, some that comment and some that message me, contact me outside of YouTube. And some of you don't. You're there. I know you're there. I think you found me because of this journey on this particular part of my life. And either it's because you are contemplating it, because you've already had it. Maybe you're on the schedule. Maybe you're this close. And these are just some things that run across my mind that are maybe good to know, things to think on. Even if you're not even considering having weight loss surgery, it may interest you just to kind of get behind the thought process of the whole ordeal, because it's not just let's go have a surgery and come home and yippity skippity everything's okay, because it's not. It is not that cut and dry. So I thought today we would talk about, just chat, have ourselves some coffee, as we usually do. Yes, I am able to drink my coffee. Yes. Things do not stay the same. We'll get into all that here shortly. But 10 things that I've learned since having the surgery, since having the gastric bypass. And it's going to be, I feel certain, the same if you get the sleeve or the duodenal, if that's how you say it, switch. One of the three, it's all weight loss surgery. It all has the same mental effect. I would think. I could not see how one would be any different from the other one. So let's just get in to talk about these little things. The first one is do your own homework. Now, I did not have to have surgery to know to do my own homework, because I am a homework kind of gal. I like to look up stuff, research stuff. The paperwork they give you is invaluable. Do not take it for granted. Don't skim over it. Read every single word. If you have to read it 10 times for something new to stick out every single time, then do that. Because, I did it. I would read it. When I went to my nutritionist visit, I had memorized like I was trying to take a test, which kind of, it really was, and I didn't realize it until she said, okay, I don't have any problems clearing you. I didn't realize that was what I was there for. I thought I was just there to learn about nutrition surrounding the whole surgery. No, that was a clearance visit. So I'm not saying learn it so you can go in and pass the test, whether you believe it or not, or whether you've been doing what you're supposed to or not. I'm saying for your journey, for going through what you're going to have to go through, do your homework. Make sure it's something that even sounds like something you can do. All the ins and outs, the physical, the mental, learn everything that you can before you actually have this surgery. Number 2, the pain does not last forever. Now, I was lucky. After the first day, the initial, of having surgery, because there's going to be pain when you have major surgery. This is a major surgery because they're in there rerouting your insides. That's a major surgery. When you come out and you think you're on death's door, the pain does not last forever. The like when I got home, I was uncomfortable. I was not in pain. I think I had it easy. My stitches, they were not painful. Now, my stomach was one humongous bruise. Be prepared for that. Um, it was, yeah, it was bad. It was bad from top to bottom. I mean, yeah, but it didn't last. It's going away now. It changed all the colors. It's, sinking in, getting smaller and smaller. So these things don't last forever. When you think, oh my gosh, I feel terrible. Guess what? One day you're going to feel like me. 3 weeks. 3 weeks and I feel fine. Now, that don't mean I'm going to go out and run a marathon, which I can't anyway. That don't mean I can go out and run one even if I wanted to, even if I could. You still have, which would come up to number 3. The healing process. But listen, that was a good segue, wasn't it? The healing process does not happen overnight. You've got to understand that. The swelling, there's inside swelling, the bleeding that happens, that it has to leave your body. So there's all kinds of things that has gone on inside your body. All the cutting and sewing and whatever it is they do in there with I got 6 incisions, so they were doing something. It's not going to heal overnight. Think about, I've got this cut right here that's probably been on my finger for 2 weeks, maybe more than that, and it's just starting to get a scab on it. And I cut it on the edge of the dryer door. It slipped out of my hand, and the edge of that dryer door was just sharp enough to pull that meat off. If that little bitty thing right there can take that long to heal, imagine what your insides are taking. It's not going to happen overnight. Don't expect that just because, okay, I feel good right now. I mean, I feel good. I have found that I have more energy. I may not have the physical capabilities to follow through with that energy, but I have more energy about myself. I'm happier. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm in a better spirit than before. Now that don't mean, I don't even know if we talk about that you won't have weepy moments. You might have crying jags that you don't understand. But we'll talk about some of them that you will understand. You will know exactly what they're about. But if you have swelling, if you're not losing weight like you think you should, we'll talk about that too. Most of this, it just bleeds over into the next thing. It's just like one big ball of, guess what's happening to you? Figure it out. Learn to deal it. Like Andy Griffith said, learn to love them. Learn to deal with it. Number 3. That was number 3. Number 4. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's. Now, that is something I have learned, and I've had to still keep learning, because it is so common, whether you had weight loss surgery or whether you're just on a particular diet plan, you compare yourself to other people. Now, my journey is going slow. I have been assured that it is normal. Some people, theirs is like mine. I lost a lot pre-op, post-op, not so much. Some people, maybe they don't lose it pre-op, but when they have surgery, it falls off of them just like butter. I find myself looking at them thinking, why is that not me? Well, you know why? Because that's them and this is me. You have to accept that fact that your body is going to respond the way that it responds. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now, that comes into play too. You've got to be eating the way you're supposed to be eating. And as long as you're doing that, then your body's going to do what your body's going to do. So don't think that if you're not just dropping the weight off as soon as you have the surgery, that you're doing something wrong, as long as you're doing something right, that it is uncommon, because I have been assured by some of you, by the Facebook group I'm on, by the nutritionist who's on the Facebook group I'm on. This is our local Facebook group. That it's all um, like they say, it's a process. Just trust the journey. It's a process. So your body might process it different from somebody else's. So don't get caught up in. I mean, you could. Hey, I wish I was dropping weight. I'm not gonna lie about that, but I'm not getting to the point to where I think, okay, it's all over. I do sometimes think it ain't never going to happen, but you can't think like that. You just got to know, like they said, trust the process. Number 5, eating for sustenance rather than enjoyment is a must. That is a hard one to learn. When you do not come to the point of having weight loss surgery to have that tool by being able to eat properly. I didn't get to almost 400 pounds by being able to eat properly. I mean, come on. That's a fact. If I did, then I wouldn't be sitting here in front of you on this weight loss journey. No matter what road I'm on, I wouldn't even be on the road. I would already be arrived. I'd be at my destination. I'd have a whole different kind of YouTube channel. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even have a YouTube channel, because the way I started this channel is because I was on a weight loss journey, and I just started it to have accountability to myself. I just started showing my little food journals. I didn't plan on getting in front of the camera. I didn't want to do none of that. I just wanted to show I call them my little food journals. I still call them my food journals. Just to show what I ate, because I thought, okay, if you have to show what you eat, then you're going to be careful with what you eat, because you don't want to show it. And I've showed, oh my gosh. I have shown y'all the good, the bad, and the ugly. Y'all have seen some ugly stuff from me, but that's a part of, hey, this is what happens. I can't be alone. There's no way I'm alone. If you've ever been on any kind of diet plan, knock on wood, maybe you hadn't. Maybe you're one of the lucky ones who has not experienced it. But for the most part, the majority of us have faced those. Okay, we're off the rails here. What are we going to do to get back on track? Well, you've got to learn after this surgery. There's no more. I mean, I'm just now hitting the soft food phase. Pureed, liquids, pureed, soft, then regular. No matter when I get to regular, it's still not an eating for enjoyment. I can make food that I enjoy eating, but there's not going to be, well, I'm going to eat just to eat. I'm in here, I'm bebopping around doing something. I think I might want me a little snack. No. Is it time to eat? Have you just had something? Is your pouch full? Do you need to put anything else on top of it? Consistent overeating is going to stretch your pouch. You've got to keep that in the back of your mind. You might be hungry, but if you have eaten enough to sustain yourself, then forget it. Be hungry. I've learned that. That's not even on here, but I have learned that I'm going to be hungry. Now, that is another thing. We'll talk about that in a minute, maybe. I keep telling you, these things just keep rolling into each other. But you're going to have to eat, because you have to eat. You have to eat what you have to eat. You're going to have to pound in the protein. They really drive that fact home. You have to eat your protein. There's none of this carby deliciousness. No. It sucks. I'm not going to lie to you. It sucks. You need to know that when it comes to eating, You have to eat what you're supposed to, not necessarily what you want to. I have learned that. Oh my gosh, have I learned that. I knew it beforehand, but until you experience it, you really haven't learned it. That was number 5. Number 6. That being said, even though you know you have to eat for sustenance, you know this is a fact of the journey, it is okay to mourn food. When I first started Weight Watchers in April of 2018, I mourned food. Moreover, I mourned my southern roots that involved food. It hits me right here because I love my southern food. I love all the things that revolve around my southern food. The get-togethers, the going to Mama's house and you're going to eat. And it's going to be something good. It's not going to be no diet food. I grew up eating the good southern food. I raised my family cooking the good southern food. This is not something that I'm used to. I mourned having to leave. I felt like I was like not neglecting. There's a word. There's a word I'm looking for. My southern roots. I felt like I was pushing them aside, like I was just that word I'm looking for. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Where is that coming from? In this instance, it's okay to mourn food. I have mourned. There's so many things that I wish I could have right now, and I can't. And when I get to eat regular food, at some point, maybe I'll be able to have them in smaller portions. You know what I mean? But I miss taking a big bite out of something. I miss a good old foot-long hot dog from Whataburger and just taking a good old bite out of it. There's no big bites anymore. Mourn that fact. Mourn the fact that you can't just scoop up a big old bite. They tell you, eat dime-sized pieces of food. Dime-sized spoonfuls of food. Chew, chew, chew until there's nothing left to chew. There's none of this gobbling anything down because you're hungry and you're excited to see the food. No. You might be excited. Listen, last night I had my first chewable food. It was some hamburger meat that I fried up on my meal prep. I was so excited to see that food. I put me some sugar-free steak sauce on it, stirred it around. Oh my gosh. The sensation of chewing food. Oh, how I had missed it. It's been 3 weeks since I have actually chewed food. The first 2, well, the day before surgery, you're not chewing food because it's all liquid. Some of you, even maybe 2 weeks before surgery, you're not going to chew food. You're going to be on all liquids. Each medical team is different. Everybody, there's something else. Talking about comparing. We go back a second. Don't compare your medical team's regulations to somebody else's because they vary. They all have something different. So just accept what yours is telling you and do it. Follow it. Follow it to the letter. But what I had missed, I knew I missed it, but boy, I knew last night that I missed it. It was so nice. I felt regular, not old regular, not that deep, but like a normal person who chewed food and didn't have to drink it or put it in a blender or in a food processor to eat it. It just felt so good. But it's okay to mourn the things that you're not going to have anymore. You can be upset about it. It is okay. These are your emotions. You can have any emotion you want. You can walk through this journey. You can figure it out any way you need to figure it out. And listen, I might talk about this in a minute, but it's okay to cry. When you start thinking about what you can't have anymore, it's okay to cry. This might be coming up. Let's see. You can find strength you didn't know you had. I sometimes think of myself as a very strong woman. Maybe more strong-willed than strong, more headstrong than strong. I don't know. I've been through things in my life that have made me the way they made me. Some things have hardened me. Some things have made me more sensitive. But all the things that happen to us bring us to, different stages in our life. And this stage right here is one to where I am figuring out that I'm stronger than I ever realized that I was, because this surgery is not for sissies. It is not for wimps. It is not for the faint of heart. You better know that you can do what you got to do before you go on that table. You better have it in your mind. You better have that mindset that I'm going to conquer this and I'm going to do it whatever they tell me to do to get through it. Because you know what? You're only hurting yourself physically. If you don't prepare yourself mentally to do these things, you're going to hurt your body physically. You're going to maybe mess your stitches up. You're going to, all this physiology that goes on in here, you're going to mess it up. You're going to make yourself sick. You're going to get nauseous. You're going to go through this dumping syndrome, which is your food's going to come out and just shoot straight down your small intestine, and it's going to make you sick as a dog. Thank goodness I've not had that yet, because I have been scared to death to eat anything I'm not supposed to eat more than I'm supposed to eat, because I don't want to experience what I have heard other people go through. And everybody has different symptoms and different things that happen to them, and I don't want any of it. So I have found out that I am stronger than I realized I was. And here's a good example of how that strength comes into play. I still cook for my husband. I've told y'all many times on this channel that I cook for him, because if I sent him to work hungry, he works nights. He works hard. He's a truck driver. He works hard. He's gone. Half his day is spinning that truck or doing something with that truck, whether he's on duty driving or off duty doing the things he does. He works hard. I could not live with myself if I sent him to work hungry and then I made him go all night long, 12 hours, without another bite of food. I couldn't live with myself. So I cook for him because I love him and I want him to eat. I made him last night one of my favorite dinners, and y'all know this. I call it my hobo supper. Well, I didn't have greens, so I ended up having okra, which is fine by me. I made him pinto beans, which I was able to have with my supper. I could have those now that I've started soft foods. Yay for the beans, because we are bean people. There's hardly a bean out there that we don't like. Fried taters and onions, which is one of my favorite things, with ketchup. And fried okra. Well, fried okra is my favorite. Okra. I have found that I can take the frozen cut okra and put it out on a baking sheet, pop it in there at 425, and just let it go until it roasts. And it doesn't completely dry out, but it like browns and it cooks. If you can't have fried okra, I mean, it's the next best thing. If you're going to have okra, you know what I mean? I couldn't. It's a vegetable, and it's not soft. I probably could have pureed it, but it's got seeds in it, so I'm not to the point yet where I can have anything with seeds in it, and okra does. Not reaching on that pan and popping a little okra in my mouth, that was hard. I mean, I got over it. The hard part was those fried taters and onions. I wanted a tater so bad I could almost have cried. Well, let me think a minute. I did cry last night. I did. Just because you cry don't mean you're not strong. I think maybe, yeah, we're going to talk about it. It was all I could do not to eat that tater. But I didn't, because I know I'm not supposed to have them. Now, you can have, they don't want you to eat starches. If you do, they want it to be whole grains, complex carbs, none of this, no sugar. Don't be prepared to not eat sugar. Just be prepared. Up there in the morning section, mourn your sugar now, because you're not going to get it again. You can test it if you want to, but I'm not testing it because I don't want dumping syndrome. Besides, the nutritionist told me on my very first visit with her that she's had people come in and say, oh, I ate a piece of cake and it didn't bother me. She goes, those are the people that are most likely to gain all their weight back because they're not thinking properly for proper nutrition. You've got to have proper nutrition with this because you can't eat but so much food. And you've got to pack in that nutritional punch in that amount of food. Now, you can have the starches and things, but taters ain't one of them. So I know, don't eat the tater. I hadn't eaten my supper yet. I didn't want to put a tater in there to take up, this much. I don't know how much room a tater would take up. I cut them and sliced them. I don't want to take up that much room, first of all, in my pouch. And second of all, I was not going to take that in the place of the protein that I have to have. You be prepared to eat tons of protein. You just be prepared. Be prepared. This is a little side note. You call it TMI if you want to, but it's something I have learned. Be prepared for the fallout of not eating fiber. Do the math. It is serious business. So which one are we on? I don't know. Oh, you will find that you will have some strength that you just did not realize you had. I know some of you are sitting there now going, I don't think I can do this. Well, I think if you dig down deep, you're going to realize you can. I realize that I can. Is it easy? No. Oh my gosh, no. We'll talk about that in a minute too. How many times have I said that in this video? We'll talk about that in a minute. Some of this stuff, what if we don't even talk about it in a minute? I might forget what I said 2 minutes ago. We can't go by that. But yes, you will find some strength that you did not know you had. And it's revolving food. Why could I not find that strength when I was on a diet? I think because I knew there was not a consequence. There was consequences to not losing weight, obviously, but there was not a physical consequence of something that's going to happen to you physically if you don't follow the rules. You can get back on track. Well, if I get off now, I can get back on track, hopefully, but I don't want to undo anything that's been done. I didn't go through all this to fall off the rails. I did not put my body through major surgery and have my guts rearranged. That's what happened. They rearranged my insides. I didn't have that happen to me. I did not have that physical trauma to my body to just go off willy-nilly and do my own thing. So you will find some strength. I found that strength. And I'm not going to sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but I'm proud of myself. And it's okay. It's okay to be proud of you. That was number 7. Number 8. This is a big one, and this is why I cried last night. You may question your choice when it gets hard, but that's okay. I sat there last night, and it's funny that food can do this to you. I mean, it's just food, but then it's food. People have questioned me. Well, I don't know how food could be so important to you. You have these health problems and you need to take care of this. How can food be so important to you? Well, because food is a major part of life. We have to have it to live. We have taste buds that taste food. If we didn't taste food, if we didn't taste it, if we didn't smell it, if we couldn't get some kind of satisfaction from it, we would none of us be sitting in this. We would just like little animals. They just eat because they need to survive, and they go along their way. Flair. Take her for example. She's my bearded dragon. She eats when she's hungry. You can't pry her mouth open when she does not want to eat. You can stick a worm right into her nose and she'll shut her eyes. She'll do that to me a lot. She just shuts them eyes and pierces them lips up. You won't pry it open with a crowbar to get that worm or that roach down her mouth. It's not going to happen. You won't make her drink water if she don't want water. We're not like that. We have all this satisfaction of food. We have food that surrounds celebrations of family and fun times. Food is such a huge part of our life. If we were all able to control our food, none of us would be overweight. So you can't go and tell somebody, well, how can you be that dependent on food? How can you let food do that to you? Because we're human. Humans are people like that. Everybody don't have a problem with food. Everybody's not a food addict. There are people who have trouble with food, but then there are addicts that are so addicted to that food, and that's me. I have an addictive gene, and food was one of the major ones that of all the things I've been addicted to in my life, and there's been a string of them. I don't have to go and tell you what they are. You can try to guess if you want to, but I ain't gonna tell you if you're right or not. Food has always been a constant. Even if something else took the place of it, it would always come back. Food, food, food. I'm trying to think, I get off on the subject, where was we at? So, when I was sitting there last night, and go ahead and say, you was crying over a tater? No, I wasn't crying over a tater. I was crying over what that tater represented. It represented the fact that I have got to change forever. If you don't think that you can change your lifestyle forever, and I mean forever, as long as you live, then do not do the surgery. Just stop right now. If you got a surgery date planned and you don't think you can change forever, cancel it, because you're not going to be successful if you're not willing to make that change. But I sit over there and then I got teary. I got tears in my eyes. I had to wipe them out, physical tears, because I was like, what did I do? What have I done? And it's okay. It's okay to question, because that's part of the mental part of this that you go through. There's an emotional upheaval, I guess you could call it, that comes about when you do this and you come to the realization of, oh my gosh, I really did this, and there's no backsies. There's no going back. I'm done. This is a done deal. Write it down in the books. You're done. Change your eating habits forever. But just realize that it's okay if you get upset that you did have to change. It's okay. But just realize that what you're doing is forever. Let's see, number 9. Is that number 9? 8, yeah. This is in what we were just talking about. You will miss your old life. I miss, even before I started my pre-op, when I got hungry, when I had a little gnawing in my belly, just a little, I just need a little something, I would go in there and get a cheese stick. At some point in this journey, I'll be able to eat a cheese stick. It's not right now, and it's not been for the past 3 weeks. I couldn't just go in and get a cheese stick. I miss that. I'll be in here and I'll be hungry, and it's not time to eat because my stomach has not had time to process, that little 4 ounces, half a cup that I've got up to a half a cup. You start out with like a quarter of a cup, and I'm up to a half a cup. I've done so well. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so excited to have that half a cup of food at each sitting. It is, oh my gosh, it is like the lottery. I'm not kidding you. When you realize you get excited over being able to eat a whole half a cup of food, woo, I'm going to tell you what, that's a big one. There's some strength right there. Is knowing you get a whole cup of food, but you got to stop at a half a cup of food. I might get up to 3/4 of a cup at some point, months down the road, but that'll come. I'm assuming it will because, like, I've advanced in that department. I'm not losing the weight, but I've advanced in how much I'm able to hold at one time, which that's probably about the size of my pouch is probably a half a cup. That's why I'm not eating any more than that. I miss my old life because y'all know how I love Halloween, and y'all know me and Holly put on a Halloween party every year. That is me and her. That's me and her's thing. I don't know what I was fixing to say. That's our thing we do together every year. That is our time together, just me and her, and that is our gift to the family. And we like to make the fun Halloween treats, all the junk food, nothing healthy. There's not going to be a healthy thing on the whole spread except the deviled eggs, which I can have those. So I'm excited about that. But I miss the fact that come Halloween time, which the party is this coming Saturday, I'm not going to be able to get a plate of all the different things and sit down and enjoy that plate of goodies with my family. I have to pick my food. I have to have, which I've already planned on, deviled eggs. I can have that. And then the other meals, depending on how long we're here, I've got it planned. I've got it planned ahead of time. So I will have something while they're eating that I can be eating too, enjoying their company. But I will miss the fact that I will be enjoying their company with a whole plate of good food on it. I miss the life that we used to have of just going out to eat. Even if it's something healthy that I chose. Just going out to eat. I miss it. We're eating out people. We love to eat out. We always have. So I miss that lifestyle. I told David this weekend, I said, oh my gosh. I said, I wish we could just go out and get something to eat and didn't have to fool with none of this. He goes, I know what you mean. I'm lucky. Let me tell you that. I didn't just learn it. I knew I was lucky because whatever I decide to do to lose weight, he's right there on board with me. He supports me. He eats it. He does whatever I have to do. He does it with me. He's in my corner, and he does not. Now, the only thing that I've had to do different is with this is had to cook for him and just eat differently myself. That don't mean he's not behind me. He's behind me 100%. But I miss a QT fountain Pepsi. Oh my gosh. When I'm out and about, and I still think about it, it's just like I still think about smoking. I quit smoking in 2005, and I still to this day think about, oh, okay, grab a cigarette. I don't think I'll ever get over that sensation. I don't think I will. I think about when I'm on the road going somewhere, wherever, if I'm shopping, just going to pick up a prescription, going to the grocery store, going to the Y, whatever. I just want to swing by QT, run in there and get me a fountain Pepsi. Guess what? You can't have carbonated drinks. Be prepared to give up carbonated drinks. If you have to, have a dependency on drinks, go on get a system now. Go on, cut them out. Quit, put them back. Just nip it in the bud because you can't have carbonation. So I miss that part of my life. Again, it's okay. It's okay to miss what you used to have. That's all kind of things. I mean, you might miss a old flame. Oh, I miss them. That's okay. It don't change the fact that you're fine, which I'm fine where I'm at. I don't want this to sound like this is the worst thing I have ever experienced in my life, because it's not. It's a whole new chapter in my life, and I'm embracing it. I'm embracing it. It's just everything doesn't come smoothly. You're not going to just say it. Maybe you are. Not me. Going to sail right through it with any of these ups and downs, with any of these emotions, with any of these physical things that you have to change. I mean, it's all part of the journey. So it's okay to miss your life, but be prepared to. Just be prepared to miss the old you. I miss my diet. I miss being on a diet. Does that sound strange, or does that sound strange? I miss being able to make 2-ingredient dough bagels. Bread is not something I can have, at least not at this point. It can get stuck. It can wad up and get stuck. It's a carb that you don't need. You're filling up on bread, and then there you can't eat your protein. But I miss making dish with these party loaf. I didn't survive on it. I survived my sweet tooth on it because it was like low in points, the whole 9 yards, and I would make one, and have it on hand because it satisfied that urge that I had to have sugar, and it was okay for you. But for now, for this part of my journey, I can't do that. There's things on the Weight Watchers diet plan that I miss. I miss eating regular food, even if I had to count the points and the calories for it, because how many times I got sick of counting points. I'm not counting calories now, and I'm not getting close to even 1,000 calories. They say when you get up to eating food, they would like you to say between 1,000 and 1,300. So there'll be some point. Well, I mean, I track my food every day, so I know that's how I know how many calories I get and how much protein I get. So I know that I'm getting enough because I am tracking my food in the Healthy app every single day. That is something that I have found that I'm doing better at now, because tracking has always been the bane of my existence. Hated it, didn't do it, but I miss having a diet where I can eat regular food. This is a diet I'm on. The diet consists of this food and not that food. Your diet is what food you eat. Some people hate calling Weight Watchers a diet. It's a diet because it changes the way you're used to eating. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on it. If what you're eating now to lose weight changed from what you ate when you were overweight, you're on a diet. Fight me. I'm just kidding. I'm on a diet now. I'm on the strictest diet I've ever been on. So it's okay. But be prepared. You will miss your own life. And then number 10. This is not a journey to be taken lightly. Do not think for one split second that this is the easy way out. Do not tell me or anybody else that you know, oh, well, you got it made. You had weight loss surgery. No, ma'am. No, sir. This is probably the hardest thing I have ever had to do. I've been through some hard times, and I got over them. I'll get over this. But the thing about this is it's ongoing. You don't have your surgery and it stops. Oh, I had weight loss surgery. I'm going to lose my weight and I'm done. No. All these things we just talked about happened. All these emotions, all these physical changes, all the things that are involved with having a gastric bypass or a sleeve or a switch do not stop as soon as you go into recovery. Oh, I'm in recovery. I'm done. Woo! How easy was that? No, it is not easy. It is not the easy way out. So do not take it lightly. Don't think I'm going to have weight loss surgery and it's going to fix everything. Everything's going to be fixed. I'm going to be A-okay. No. You still have work to do. The surgeon, he goes in, he's in there for how many ever hours it takes him. He's done. Then you have to pick up the stick and run. What is it, the baton? They hand it off to you. Then it's your turn. And guess what? Your turn lasts for your lifetime. It doesn't end when you go home from the hospital. Okay, you're done. You don't have to do anything else. Just sit back and watch that weight fall off. You don't have to participate in your journey whatsoever. It will just pick up. It's like a self-cleaning oven. It'll just do it on its own. No. You've got to stick to the diet. You've got to follow the plan. You've got to do what you've got to do. What did I tell you? For how long? Forever. So if you don't think you can do any of that, if you don't think you can go through any of these things we just talked about, then don't get the surgery. And don't think you're a failure because you can't get it. It's not for everybody. It's not. If you don't think it is something that you can commit to for the rest of your life, please don't do it. Please take all these things that I told you into consideration. Don't change your body and your lifestyle because you're worried about, oh, well, you said you were going to get it. Now you're backing out. You must be blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Who cares what people think about you? Listen, that's for you. That's not for them. You don't do the weight loss surgery for somebody else. You do it for yourself. And if it's not something you think you can do, then please don't do it. But do not take it lightly. And do not let anybody tell you that this is the easy way out. I promise you, it is not. But it is a journey that I have chosen to take. I have chosen to go through all these emotions. I knew that there would be changes I had to make, and I chose to go through with it anyway. And I'm willing to accept the fact that these are things I have to do. Y'all know good and well, just because you have to do something does not mean that you can't get emotional about it. That's part of life. So I chose this. Nobody chose it for me. I chose this. I'm going to make the best of it. I told you I didn't have all this done. I didn't have this trauma to my body to not follow the rules. I'm going to follow the rules. But anyway, these are some things that I have learned in 3 short weeks. And I know that I'm not through learning. Maybe 6 months down the road, we'll come and do another video. Look what else I've learned. Look what else I have found out. Because I'm still new. I'm a newbie. 3 weeks, I'm a newbie. I hadn't even got the regular food yet. I am just like a newborn. I hadn't even learned to walk yet. I'm crawling. But I sure ain't walking. I'll get there, though. It's coming. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you some food for thought. I hope it helps you if you are on this journey, no matter what stage you are at. Maybe it gives you some things to think about. And if you're not on this journey, maybe it just interests you. I don't know. So that'll do it for me today. And I'll just see you on the next video.